Thank you again for joining us, by the way. Our next game actually is The Lion King on the Sega Genesis by 8. We're currently... All right, we've got a few more donations that have come on in. We've got a $10 anonymous donation that says Lion King hype. That is definitely coming up next. We have an anonymous $25 donation that says keep up the good work. All right, coming up next, we have an interview, and also this will conclude my time here at the host desk. I'm going to pass it on over to Liz Starr, who will be taking you through these next few Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo runs. As mentioned, we have The Lion King by 8 coming up next. Liz Starr is going to take over the desk. It's been an absolute pleasure to host these runs with you, and I'll see you again here. For me, it'll be early Wednesday morning. Take care, everybody, and Liz Starr coming up next, and we've got another interview.
Hey everybody, and thank you so much for watching Summer Games Done Quick. I am YellowKillerBee, and I have the absolute pleasure to be joined by 8 and PaulSaltine. They are going to both be running in the Disney block, which is coming up next. Now, you know that I am a huge Disney fan at heart, and I've actually played both of these games, so I'm really excited to be talking with these runners. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, 8?
I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent. So, I mean, I love Disney games. I'm assuming you guys probably have a love/hate relationship with these games at times. But how did you get into speedrunning Disney games? We'll start off with 8. How did you get into speedrunning The Lion King?
Well, I actually was a big fan of the game as a kid. I got to Scar, and it's actually not very intuitive how to end the game. It doesn't tell you that you have to throw Scar off of Pride Rock, so I never finished it. So I kind of had unfinished business with the game. And my friend Nicole was running the Super Nintendo version, so I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if 2 friends were both running this game, but different versions of it?
That's great. I can definitely relate to that kind of unfinished business scenario with my own games. And how about you, Paul? How did you get into Castle of Illusion?
It's kind of similar, honestly. I didn't necessarily have this game as a kid, but my sister did. So, I mean, as children, we didn't really make it very far in the game, to be honest. You know, level 1, level 2, and whatnot. But after a while, of not playing it, being an adult, streaming and whatnot, I had the cartridge, the same cartridge I had as a kid. And one day for a stream, I was like, yo, let's just casually play this. I haven't touched it in like 20 years. Let's see, let's see what kind of game it is. And I managed to beat it on stream for, the first time ever. And I had like a lot of fun with it. So kind of kept going back with it, getting a little bit better each time until we decided to just leap right on in.
Yeah, it really kind of sneaks up on you with Castle Illusion. You're like, oh, there's not like, it doesn't seem like a huge amount of speed tech when you're playing it. And you're like, what about this speed run? But it's just such a fun game to play.
Absolutely.
It really is. So 8, I want to know, like, you were running the Genesis version of The Lion King, and there's also a Super Nintendo version. So can you tell me a little bit about the difference between the two? A lot of people think they're exactly the same.
Yeah, they're actually very different. The level layouts are all quite a bit different. Not all of them, but most of them are quite a bit different. Simba is more floaty on the Genesis version, and just the physics in general are kind of different. There's a lot of differences, but you would have to really kind of dive deep into both of the games to notice the differences, or like run one or the other, I suppose.
Also, Simba is a lot more vocal in the Super Nintendo version of the game.
Is that true?
Cool.
Yeah, he just says cool for everything. Just cool.
Cool. I remember that. I actually haven't played the Genesis version, but yeah, for the Super Nintendo version, I do remember that. So, as I said, for the Lion King, I have tried it and it was really hard. A lot of these Disney games just seem to be very difficult, which is kind of a juxtaposition between, you think it's this kid's game, this Disney game, but yet you get into these games and it's like, wow, the barrier to entry is just huge. And 8, you were kind of talking about, something that you had found out about why that was.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. The devs were instructed by Disney to make the game as difficult as possible so that people couldn't beat it from like a video store like Blockbuster or, just a store of that ilk within one rental period. The idea was that they would have to rent it several times or eventually just buy the game.
That's so crazy because it's like not what you would expect from a Disney game, but yet it makes for a really great speed run. So, Paul, when you're playing Castle of Illusion, like the difficulty there is often in the movement. Like a lot of the things that seem kind of deceptively easy can be really hard. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so unlike a lot of other speed games, Castle of Illusion doesn't have any crazy like clips or glitches or insane things that look like off the walls hard or anything. The difficulty in Castle of Illusion kind of is in those very simplistic movements. So like for example, the very first stage in Toyland, we call it the climb. Just by looking at the speed run, it kind of just looks like you're walking to the top of this room. You're climbing up some stairs, you're going to grab a key. But I mean, in actuality, what's going on is like each jump, each position of a jump, where you land on a block, where you take damage, how you damage boost through enemies is all calculated, and like just one mess up throws everything off the walls. And then you gotta kind of try to, recover from that and find a backup to get up without dying or losing too much time. It's very subtle.
Yeah, I can attest to that as well. The climb ended many a run for me.
Yeah.
in my day. And then so 8 for the Lion King, the movement plays a big part in it as well, but then there's also some larger skips.
Yep. In level 8, which is called Be Prepared, I do a clip and I just skip the whole level right to the auto scroller at the end of it.
Perfect. Just take care of that whole level. Just get rid of it. So as we're kind of wrapping up here, I do want to kind of touch base and see how you guys are feeling coming into this run. Now, 8, you do hold the world record in 2 of the categories for this game. And then PaulSaltine, you just got a PB last Thursday, and basically what was your final practice stream before GDQ. So how are you kind of feeling? Are you prepared, 8? Do you feel like you're prepared coming into this?
Yeah, I'm confident. However, I will be if my incentive gets met and I play difficult, I will be starting the game with 0 lives. So there's a huge chance, well, not a huge chance, but there's somewhat of a chance that I game over. But it's fine. I'll be fine. I'll be good. I'm confident.
What about you, Paul?
Honestly, I'm probably as confident as I'm gonna be. I mean, there's a big RNG aspect to the Castle of Illusion run as well. So all I can do is execute what I can to the best of my ability and then see what the RNG gods give me.
Just all hope for good water RNG.
Please, please.
For Paul. All right. Thank you so much, you guys, for chatting with me. I really appreciate you taking time to talk about your games. And for the rest of you, you're going to want to stick around because the Disney block is coming up next.